All right, well, we'll see how this goes. Okay. Right now, we're on 4G. So if you're watching on TikTok and you start seeing a bunch of fuzziness, let me know. I'll attach it to the Wi-Fi. I just realized that I forgot to reset my not my router, my little Wi-Fi extender down here in the basement. So that might be a problem. We will find out. So, for anyone watching, good evening. How are you? How you doing? My name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories, and I make chainmail. And what I'm doing right now is I'm working on this big project here. But to explain it, this is a chainmail jelly cube, right? The weave used to make it is called Japanese 4-in-1 because every ring has 4 rings going through it, except for the ones on the exterior, right? And this is the same weave, right? But I used small rings to make the big rings, and then I added these black and stainless chains to it, right, to help hold all the big rings in place. And then we will be adding some captures that'll look something like this. All hail the jelly. Jeep and Jammer, how you doing, buddy? So there's enough room in here to put these ball bearings in here, and that does 2 things. It helps make the cube more rigid, and it adds weight to it. So I don't know if adding weight to it is really going to be a good thing. I did the math, and the way it was originally planned, it was going to weigh about 30 pounds, 2 ounces, I think is what the math was. And the way I'm moving forward with it at this point, it is probably going to end up weighing around 70 pounds. So, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. All right. Right now, what direction do I need this to face? No, there. We're going to attach a large ring. Okay, that is the correct way. Now, there's no like extra room here anymore, right? These rings are pretty well pressed up against each other. Get some of these large rings here. I need my wubbers. Normally for the smaller rings, I like to use these Zurons. They're a great pair of pliers. But for these bigger rings, these are 16 gauge 3/16 spring steel. So you gotta use a little bit larger pair of pliers. I need to take these out real quick. So, how's everybody's day? What's going on? What'd you get up to today? I've been down here working on all these little Byzantine chains all day. And fun revelation I found. I have a lot of these 16 gauge 3/16 rings left over, right? And let's see if I can kind of explain this. So this Hillshire Farms Go Meat container has already been filled up once. All the rings were made into the Byzantine chains, right? So I filled it up again. And the first initial filling, right? These are the rings that are ready to go. Is going to get me through 3 layers. So this will get me through the next 2 layers, which will be my initial cube. And then I'll have whatever is in here as leftovers. Right? Does that make sense? So I'm going to have a lot of leftover rings. So what's going to end up happening is that I'm going to just make the cube larger than I initially intended. Because we have extra rings. And the whole point of this project was to use up rings. So we've already bought in rings once for it. I don't know how many more we'll have to buy to finish it, but we'll see. Alright, I got different paint for your helmet to try a new combo. You're having a tough time finding the right green. Oh, man. I don't do paint, right? Like, the color that my house is now will never change unless I pay somebody to paint it, right? Inside and outside. So I can't imagine, like, people who paint miniatures or people who do 3D printing and, you know, paint their Mando armor sets or whatever, right? I could never do that. So I get a lot of comments saying, "Oh, you must be going crazy doing projects like this." And this is, well, it's not easy for me. There's certainly a bit of a grind aspect to it at times. I'd much rather do this than even just paint the inside of my house, right? So I applaud all you people who work with paint. It's not something I can do. All right. And I think I found that out when we got our first house. The wife wanted all the rooms painted, and so it got painted. It was just a bad experience all around for me. All right, what's going on here? Something's not right, is it? No, it's right. Okay. There we go. Sometimes the paint varies from the color on the cap. You have stuff to do test painting on? Yeah. Yeah, so there was a spill in one of the upstairs bathrooms. The tub overflowed and leaked down into the kitchen. So when we were repairing everything, none of the paint that we had on hand matched the ceiling paint on the main floor, right? So, and I tried, there were probably 20 different cans of paint down here in the basement, and I went through all of them. And none of them matched, and it was a huge pain in my butt. So I swore it off. I'm just going to, what'll end up happening is I will have to repaint the entire first floor ceiling to get it to match. Just fine. That way you're not wasting time painting it a color you don't like. Yeah, no, 100%. I get it, right? That's the whole, like, do your prep work stuff, because if you don't, you're going to screw yourself in the long run. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. Oh, dang it. Put this ring in only through one ring. Come on. There's no room to weave this. It's upside down and backwards. You can't see what you're doing. It's so much fun. But the end result is going to be cool. And I figured out how I'm going to display it. So that's nice. Another creator had a metal cube, right? This is also a metal cube, but his was solid all around, right? And it was a big art display that he had. And it was hanging So like, say this was a done cube, it's suspended up in the air, and there was a metal diamond around it, and both the cube and the diamond were hanging from a swing arm kind of deal wrapped up around it, if you can imagine that. So I was like, I'm going to steal that idea because I like that so much. What's going on here? Oh. There was something I screwed up. Now, you'd think I'd know what I'm doing at this point, but apparently not. Whoa, what metal are you using for this? This is all stainless steel. How you doing, Smudge Judy? Okay. Ah. There's a ring not woven correctly. I don't want to take the whole thing apart. I want to see if I can fix this real quick. There we go. Now can I close it? Because there's no room to get my pliers in here. Okay. I apologize for anyone on the overhead cam who can't see what I'm doing. I'm struggling is what I'm doing. I'm on the struggle bus right now. Alright, there we go. Okay. Cool, you do chainmail too. You started working with galvanized steel mostly. Awesome that you do chainmail. I have worked in galvanized before when I first got started. And the shirt I made from it stunk really bad, and it's in a box out in my shed. You can like shine up galvanized steel and everything, make it look pretty. But unless you remove the zinc from it, it will always stink, right? And then if you remove the zinc, it turns it into mild steel is what remains. And then that can rust and everything. But yes, awesome. Glad to see another chainmailer here. I love that username too. That's one of the fun things about being a creator, I guess, is what I do. Is you get, like, when you get a video going and you're getting a lot of comments and likes and whatnot, you get to see everybody's username. And there's a lot of really inappropriate, funny ones. But then there's, like, creative ones, like Smudge Judy. That's an excellent username. It's good to know, thanks. Yeah, if you need, like, any info on, like, where to find chainmail suppliers and everything, in my link tree is the Mailworks web app. There's a link to download it from Google, too, but the web app seems to be working pretty well right now. And inside the app is a list of suppliers that sell rings for chainmail in aluminum, titanium, niobium, stainless steel, sterling silver, right? In every flavor of metal you could ever want, right? So you're not 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Like if you just got started making chainmail and you've got a roll of electric fence wire from Home Depot, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But galvanized steel is definitely something I would move away from as time goes on. So, all right. Now we're cooking with Crisco. So, all right. How was everyone's weekend? What'd you guys get up to? Been a while since you stopped. How's the tavern logo coming along? Oh, it's done. It is done. You want to see it? It's right over on the table. There's like 2 things left I have to do. Maybe 3. Right? And they're all about getting it up on the wall. The inlay itself is done. So I feel I'm so glad to have that inlay done too. Not that I was, I wasn't necessarily tired of it, but it was just a really big challenge. And finally sitting down and just grinding through it the same way I did with the Raiders inlay last year, or 2 years ago now. That's what finally did the trick in getting that piece done. But if you want to see it, I've got it right over here. I can stand up and grab it real quick. Of course you want to see it. Who am I kidding? I want to see it. All right, hang on. Let me move my chair out of the way. All right, I don't have enough room in here to show all of it at once. So I'm just going to go in sections and try and show you as much as I can, right? Everybody get a good look. Here's for all you, everyone else not on TikTok. All right. Ooh, this thing's heavy. Hang on. All right. Excuse me. You've been experimenting with different metal types for different projects. Been interesting. Right on. Heck yeah. You love it? I love it too. I'm so glad it's done. Alright kids, don't get fat and old. Doing seemingly easy activities makes you go out of breath really quick. But yeah, that's done. There's 3 more things that I want to do. Across the top where those loops are, I want to add another row on the outside of each loop. That dowel rod I want to replace with a spear, and then I want some Celtic themed wall hooks to put up on the wall to go along with it, and then it's done. So I was going to try and order the spear next month, it's like my kid's birthday, and I'm going to be better off waiting until September. So I'll get it up on the wall at some point. But it does have the black leather backing that I wanted. And then it's going to be cool. Sitting up on the wall. And the bar that I made it for closed down. So I ran into someone online who knew of the bar, and they went and checked it out. Or they looked into why the bar had closed down. And I guess the owners were just tired of running it. It's too much of a hassle. I don't know. I always had a good time there. But it's been, the better part of 20 years since I was there, so. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Okay. This spring steel fights back, man. All right, where are we at here? So next weekend, birthday parties and fun stuff. And then a couple more weeks, school starts. And I'm hoping, like, once we're back into school and the family's in a routine again and everything, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back into a more routine streaming pattern, because it's kind of just been random all summer. It's like, it's summertime, and if you have a really nice day outside in Wisconsin, you got to be outside. Because 9 months out of the year... Excuse me. Oh, man. Oh. Yeah. If you have a nice day in Wisconsin, you got to get outside and be outside, because there's just so few nice days. 9 months out of the year, it's a freaking frozen tundra wasteland, and you don't want to be outside because it's too cold. So, but we'll get back into a pattern soon, once school starts, I guess. So now, I'm going to add one of these strips of Byzantine. Each big ring has 4 strands of Byzantine on it, and that's to hold all the big rings in place. Because the large rings, they're not round, they're kind of round. They're, well, let me just show you. Right? So they're straight on the sides, right? And then curved on the inside and the outside. Does that make sense? So curved on the inside and outside, and straight on the edges. So they just kind of slide past each other. So I got the black and stainless to add to it to help hold everything in place, and then it's working actually better than I thought it would. So I'm happy it worked out. What is going on here? There we go. Come on. I swear, this is not the first time I've done this. It just looks that way. Anyway. Okay, what is going on? Because this is so large, like, the angle that I'm working at gets really weird. And it really shouldn't be that much of an issue, but for some reason, this does not want to work with me. There. Alright, that's one. I need one more. So the exciting, my exciting events this weekend were going grocery shopping. I live a thrilling life, let me tell you. Oh, you know what? No, that's not true. Okay, what is today, Monday? I think I mentioned this the other night when I was streaming, but I did get to go down to the Harley Davidson shop nearby. And one of my other fellow chainmail artists was vending there. His name's Greg over at Masterlinks Mail. And he makes some pretty cool stuff. Actually, where's my bracelet I got from him? There it is. So, he had this JPL 5 bracelet. And I've never made JPL 5, but I was like, all right, let me pick that up. So, usually whenever I go out to and have the opportunity to meet new chainmail artists, or not new, to meet other chainmail artists, I definitely try to pick something up from them. And I've been out to see Greg like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times now. He'll just be like vending nearby or in 45 minutes to an hour away, and it's an excuse for me to hop on the bike and go out there. But this time he was like 10 minutes away from the house, and I had my kid, so I didn't get to get a ride in, but I did get to go see him and his wife. So it was fun. I was going to try and go back out on Sunday. I didn't end up being able to do that, but he's in the area, so I will see him again. So that was fun. It's like one of the things I love about chainmail, everyone makes different stuff, right? Everyone has kind of like their niche pieces that they make. It's like if you give 2 different chainmailers the same ring size, they'll make 2 different things. The longer you spend in the hobby, like the more specialized you get, kind of deal, as to what you prefer to like to make and what your customers like to buy and whatnot. So, all right, let's see if we can shimmy this down. I got to get this all the way down here. And I was able to do it some of the other rings. But it's a pain. I'm not going to lie to you. So yeah, got to go see another mailer. That was cool. Mowed the lawn. Here's so mowing the lawn. About I just finished up all the edging, and now I'm about to get on the riding. No, I'm still working on the push mower, and it was kind of lightly sprinkling. Clouds were moving around overhead, but then I get done. Or I'm halfway done with the push mower portion, and I get just this barrage of rain, right? And it makes everything super wet. So now I'm fighting clogging up the lawnmower with wet grass. Loads of fun. There we go. Come on, keep going. And then when I got the rider out and was driving around on that, I got a bunch of grass all over the, wet grass all over the driveway. And normally, like, I don't go and leaf blow everything. I just let the wind take care of it. I keep the sidewalk clear, but if it's in the driveway under my truck, I'm not too anal retentive about making sure that it's cleaned up. You know what I mean? Because I largely don't care. But now it's all wet grass, and there wasn't enough rain. There was just enough rain to get it like wet and sticky, and then not enough rain to clean it up. So then today, finally rained enough to clean it up, which is, I was worried that I was gonna have grass stuck to my driveway for quite a while. Come on. So our first capture is actually going to go here. So that'll be nice. Finally get some of those in place. What else is going on? The internet was all abuzz with the Olympics. Someone was asking me about the Olympics the other night, and I'm not going to stay up to watch the Olympics occur in another country, So I'll probably miss most of it, which I'm fine with. I guess the women's volleyball, they're wearing leggings. It seems odd to me, but whatever. Anybody know why that is? I don't have any idea. Come on. It was going so smoothly there for a second. There we go. Come on. So close. Is that? No. Okay. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but I promise I'm pressuring down this strand of Byzantine as best I can to get it down as close to the base of this ring, the big ring here. There, that's probably going to be as good as it gets. All right. 40 minutes to put one ring in. And put our one capture in here so we don't run out of room for it. All right, next. Okay, so one thing I got to make sure that all of these rings, see the direction these rings are pointing, right? All these rings on top are kind of pointing that way. I gotta make sure I line them all up correctly, right? Why is that important? It's not. Does it matter? Not at all. It is one of those like attention to detail things that if someone ever takes a long look at this, they'll notice that all the rings on the same axis are oriented the same way. But the number of people who are going to ever look at that is probably like 2. So, does it matter? No. Is this ever going to be such an amazing piece that it ends up on Antiques Roadshow one day and some art appraiser notices that all the large rings are oriented the same way? I mean, probably not, but maybe. We'll see. Stranger things have happened. Oh, okay, I see what I'm doing here. Make sure I get this right so that I don't have to go back and fix it. Ideally, you want to weave. You want to pick up a ring, weave it, pick up the next ring, right? I can't do this with these black and stainless, right? These were all out of round when I got them, so I had to fix each one that I've used so far, which has not been fun. And it's incredibly time consuming because I'm picking up the ring, correcting it, then setting it back down, then picking it up again to weave it. I find it's much more time efficient. Wow, to not stab yourself in the chest with your pliers. I find it's much more efficient to pick up a ring, weave it, put it back. Or pick up the next ring, rather. So, other people like to open up like half the rings they'll need. They'll pre-open half and pre-close half and then weave them all together. That's just picking up a ring too many times for me, but it is effective when you have like a pattern you want to lay out in, you know, if you're using anodized aluminum or anodized titanium or any multicolored ring pattern. All right. Let's make sure I do this the right way this time too. So I weighed out 4 strands of Byzantine and 1 strand of sandworm. And I need 16 rings to finish this ring here and 8 to finish those 4 strands. So I weighed all that out and I got 5.2 ounces per ring. And I was, you know, calculating how much this was going to weigh when it's done. How I originally intended for it to be made, right? It would weigh around 30 pounds. And then since I have extra rings and I'm just going to finish using what rings I have on hand and then ordering however many to finish it, it's probably going to weigh around 70 pounds. So that's a pretty hefty cube. What else did I do over the week? Oh, I don't remember if this video was already popping off last week or the last time I streamed. I think the video is actually from the last time I streamed. I took a clip and posted it to Instagram. And I have hundreds of posts on Instagram, right? I never really gained any traction over there of any kind. And I'm not Instagram's biggest fan. Instagram and Facebook. So, like, I post the same stuff there that I do on other social media platforms, and I've always done better. But I posted a clip of the last stream I did, and it's gone freaking crazy. It's got 20,000 likes now. I think it was like 24,000. So I was like, heck yeah. So I've been answering questions and chatting with people over on Instagram. I did that a lot this weekend too. Only a couple of people were like rude, you know? You'll always have those. Can't do nothing about it. Damage, do I remember you? Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure. There is, what's it called? Dunbar's number. Is that what it is? Which is like the number of people you can know and have a good relationship. Is like 50. Oh, thank you. Like the number of people you can have a good relationship is, you know, the first name, you know their family, whatnot. It's like 50 people, and then the number of people whose names you can tangentially know, and kind of know a little bit about them, is like 400. I don't know 50 people, so. Well, thank you. Much appreciated. All right. So here's another thing. I was looking at the amount of traffic on my website, and I've had more traffic recently than I've ever had in the last several years of running my website, right? And I realized that when I have a video do well, that's not necessarily going to translate into people buying stuff. But the number of people that have visited my website and not purchased anything is like wildly disproportionate. Like just the odds of having so many people visit the website and not having any purchase is like odd. So like there has got to be a disconnect somewhere, right? And I'm not saying I haven't had any purchases or anything, but it's a very large number of people and a very small amount of sales. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I got to figure that out. I don't know if something's not working on my website or something. But that's all going to have to wait for right now. Website work and design work is like I have to take a week to sit down and do all this stuff I need to get done on the computer. Come on. Oh, I nearly lost my life. Yeah, I told one of my friends that she was older than credit scores. She was not happy to find out that she was older than credit scores. I'm older than credit scores. Credit scores came about in 1989, right? They didn't exist before that. And they're, I don't know, a bane on humanity's existence, right? It's like she posted something about paying rent and not having it reported to her credit report. And I guess there's a solution for that. I don't know if any of you rent where you live, but there are programs to have it count towards your credit, I guess, is what I gathered from that comment section. I don't rent, so I didn't look too closely into it. But if that is an issue and you can't get out of your apartment or your rental, go look into programs that help you get it counted towards your credit score. And it's one of those things that, okay, so credit score is for loans, right? Your ability to pay back a loan, not your ability to pay your bills, which is why it's traditionally not been included. Astrid, how you doing? What's going on? Don't do that. Ow, my leg's numb. So, yeah. If you didn't know why rent didn't count towards your... I think Astrid and I were actually talking about it. Your credit's so bad right now. Ugh. Yeah. Mine is not terrible, but... We were talking about it? Yeah, okay. Student loans kicked in, you don't have a way to pay them yet. Yeah, I remember now, okay. Was that on Saturday? Yep. So yeah, credit scores didn't exist before 1989, right? And they're pretty dumb. If you have bad credit, don't feel bad. You know. There we go. Got it moving. I was actually really concerned that I wouldn't be able to get these large rings to fit onto this next layer because there's like almost no room, but I'm feeling pretty good about these ones now that they're in place. Alright. So I've been lucky. I've been fortunate in that I've never had terrible credit, but also like everything I would have used credit for, like buying a house or a vehicle or whatever, because I was in the military. Like, I got a VA loan. So yeah, I had to have good credit, but also it didn't play as big of a part in getting a loan. Also, almost dying and being in the hospital during birth gave us awesome medical bills we can't pay. Don't pay your medical bills. It's a scam. If you don't pay them, the hospital just write it off in their taxes, right? I don't know. Don't listen to me. I probably give terrible advice, but I can 100% tell you that every time someone goes to the hospital, there's a 100% chance that they are getting ripped off, because that is how the American medical system works. We need to eat, and you tell them that? Yeah. It's like, I don't know, there's some, like, if you send them $25 a month or something, they can never send it to collections. I don't know if that's true. It's just stuff I hear on social media. I don't know anything about insurance other than that it doesn't cover anything, and it costs a lot of money, and then also all of your health care will additionally cost a lot of money. So, y'all got paid from your insurance, why do you still owe them? Yeah. Yep. It's like the capability of the American healthcare system is like phenomenal. We do amazing stuff here. The execution on how many third-party people can be involved in what you're paying is nuts. So, and I have a lot of issues after working in the medical field for 20 years. I have a lot of issues with the structure, like the American Medical Association, the American Nurses Association. These are lobbying groups, nothing more, and they're not good for American healthcare or its patients. So, and then there's things like what were I don't remember how many years ago. It was like peer-reviewed nursing or something. And it was supposed to be all these best practices for taking care of people. But It did not work out that way. So if you know anything about the peer review method, it's a pretty trash method. All right, that little ball bearing's pretty well buttoned up in there, right? There's no room for it to move around, so. All right, let's see, what time is it? 9:30, all right. Okay, so this one goes this way, so what direction is that going? Yeah. I'll double check when I get this all connected together too. Does anyone else get anime edits of Escanor, the Lion's Sin of Pride? I don't watch anime. Oh no. Like, the only anime I've watched is Avatar: The Last Airbender, and every time I say that, people tell me that it's not a real anime. And I say, okay, because I don't know anything about it. But I guess there's an anime with a character named Escanor, the Lion's Sin of Pride, and like, I get the hype, I guess. No, but you want them? Seven Deadly Sins? Is that what it's called? I watch... It's like the same scene over and over of him defeating some dude with the power of the sun or something. It's like, why would I pity someone weaker than me? Or, no, why would I hate someone weaker than me? The only thing I feel for you is pity. And then they fight. I don't know. This is on like TikTok, right? You always have to be careful what you click on. And I hate it when I accidentally like heart react something, because then the next 10 videos are going to be that topic. It's on Netflix. Oh, right on. Oh, the puzzle piece of death is coming. How is the quality over on TikTok? Right, I'm connected to like 4G in my basement because I forgot to reset my little Wi-Fi extender down here. It's like, I've got the laptop hardwired in. I don't see any dropped frames or anything. But I can't tell on TikTok. I don't have any feedback. Sweet. It's okay, it keeps glitching slightly, nothing major. Okay, I'll try to remember to reset the little Wi-Fi extender down here. in the basement so that we don't have that problem again. But I don't know, if you've been around me long enough, you know that I don't remember anything ever, so excuse me. So, Astrid, you weren't here earlier when I was talking about how I was going to display this. I'm stealing the idea from another creator, and I told him that. And he said, I liked the way it looked. So I took that as an okay. But actually, I'm going to call him and ask him how he made his and talk it over with him. And I'm sure he'll be 100% fine with me stealing his idea, right? And it's, I'm going to suspend it. It's going to have a large base and then an arm, right? And at the top of the arm will be a chain, and it'll come down and it'll hold on to the cube. It'll be cool. Uh-oh. Dang it. No. That actually works? No. Okay. Oh, good Lord. It's like I realize that this is on the very inside of the cube, but I still don't want to chew up the rings with plier marks all over them, you know? Good Lord. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, fun. Yeah. I think suspending it from one corner and with the black and stainless holding all the rings in place, the ball bearings making it more rigid, I think it'll hold its shape nicely. So now I got to go about the process of getting the base made with an arm strong enough to hold it. So, because I was doing the math, and I mentioned this earlier, but each strand of sandworm and 4 strands of Byzantine weighs 5.2 ounces. So if I just complete the initial cube that I originally planned on, that's 30 pounds. And then if I expand it to use up all my rings, it's going to be around 70. And then, of course, there's the ball bearings as well. So it's going to be a very hefty piece. Man. I think these wubbers are... I think I need to clean them up a bit. There's quite the gap. love the fact that I'm sitting here working on it and you guys can't even see what I'm doing. People on the overhead can see. But I need like a movable TikTok camera. One day, we'll have a, I don't know, like a higher end production setup. I do have some colorful lights I'm going to add. I bought them thinking that they could replace these lights over here, right? The ones that went out last week. If you weren't here for that, that was a total blast. They were like flickering and then fading in and out real bad. And then I checked the plug and it was hot. I was like, what is going on? That's why you're loving the new stand you got? Heck yeah. It's like anything that improves the quality of a stream or a video, it's just so nice to have. It's like, because I want to show people exactly what I'm doing and I want to give them ideas and be inspiring, but I can't really do that with crappy equipment. Now, my stream definitely has improved since I first started working on it. Or doing this several years ago. The quality of my work has improved and my camera equipment has improved and lighting is better and but if I've watched enough Twitch streams, I've got to understand that I need some I need like a pink side and a blue side behind me in order to really like take off as a streamer. I swear, every large streamer has blue and pink LED, well, they're probably red, blue and red LEDs behind them. Or neon lights in the background. I don't have any, I just have all this white light. So I got some color changing LEDs and I'm going to hook them up and get them all set up, and then next thing you know, I'll be super famous, so. You know, give me a follow now so that you can say, I knew him before he blew up. All right. What else would I like to get for my stream? I want more cameras. I've got this workstation. I've got the workstation next to me. And then I have a big table that I tried streaming from, and it really didn't work. And I don't remember why. But oh, and again, it's because the angle of that, you couldn't see. I was working on my saddlebags. You couldn't see what I was working on, right? Wow, my eyes just like went wild there for a second. You know when your eyes go blah, 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 right? They just did that to me. So I'm trying to close a ring. My son comes out and he'll go, "Hey, look," and then he'll wiggle his eyeballs. And he's so funny. He's growing up, and he is like, he's not going into puberty or anything, but he is getting thicker body hair. Like, you know, little kids, they don't really have hair on their arms and legs. He's starting to get his, right? So every time we're in the truck, I don't know why, if it's just like the light coming through the window the right way or something, he'll tell me, he's like, look at all my arm hair, Dad. Look at all the hair on my legs. And then I have to look as I'm trying to drive. He's funny. He and the neighbor kids went out to the park earlier today with my wife, and then did I do it? Did I do it? Yay! When they got back, the little neighbor kid, he's like 3 years old, jumped off my couch and onto me. I was sitting in a chair next to the couch. He wanted to use me as a trampoline. I did not care for that too much. And then he tried tickling me. It was very funny. It's like I'm, just had the wind knocked out of me. My gut punched in by a 3-year-old. Trying to fake laugh while he gets me, right? It was quite the trick. I convinced him that he was successful. And then I pushed him aside so I could catch my breath and avoid throwing up on him. Go. All right, that's one. Do I have time for 2 more? I think so. 2 more of these black and stainless to hold this ring in place. And there's I don't know if you can still see it. It's just this captured bead down in there, this ball bearing, right? I have too many pliers where I'm trying to work. Did anybody go see, I don't know, Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine? It's one of those things that I'm not the biggest comic book fan. I certainly wasn't raised on comic books. I had like a Donald Duck Rescue Ranger comic book growing up, but that was about it. So I had only a vague understanding of what Marvel was or any of the stories. You guys are seeing it tomorrow? Right on. And of course, I watched X-Men growing up. Who could forget that opening soundtrack? Amazing. My childhood was awesome. Right? So, outside of the cartoon, I didn't have any clue that... I had never been to a I think I've been to like one comic... No, maybe two. I went up to one in Milwaukee, I think. I think I've been to 2 comic book stores in my life. I didn't grow up around anybody who collected comics or anything, so... I didn't know any of the stuff about the Marvel Universe until I was already a man. Who was I watching the other day? I watched an interview. So Kelsey Grammer played Beast in the X-Men, the movies, right? Not that... I don't know, when did those come out? 15 years ago? Excuse me. So I saw him being interviewed not that long ago. I don't remember what he has going on. But I thought him playing the character Beast was pretty cool, so... Thought the casting was well done on that. See here. So, Kelsey Grammer started in Cheers, and then he moved to Frasier, which he was a show for a long time. And if you're not old like me, you don't know these things. And I grew up watching those because it's what my parents watched, and so that's what was on TV. The same reason I ever watched any Friends, which is a show, if you've never seen, you can go your whole life without seeing it. Seinfeld, Mad About You. I liked Mad About You with Helen Hunt and Paul Reiser. I do not care for Seinfeld. I never have. Right? But these were the shows that I grew up with. Not Cheers. Just everything that came after. Alright, let's see if I can get these into place. So, seeing, Kelsey Grammer play a psychologist in taking late night calls or whatever it was on his radio show in Frasier, seeing him go from that to playing the Beast, I've always thought it was pretty cool. It's not an acting range like Gary Oldman, right? But it's pretty broad to go from a radio psychologist to mutant beast character. Wolverine has always been your favorite. Those stories got you through some crazy stuff. Right on. Sorry you had to go through crazy stuff, but I mean, I don't know. Wolverine was always my favorite from the cartoon. But once the actual movies started coming out, the live action movies and stuff, I haven't honestly paid much attention. Like, I never saw Logan. I never saw... Like, I saw the first X-Men when it came out, the live action one. But I don't think I've seen anything after that. Hey, Amber, how you doing? Thanks for the hearts. Much appreciated. Okay, that one's in place. This side's going to want to fight me. You watched all of them repeatedly? Oh, you know, speaking of watching movies repeatedly, like, once a year I try to get in Princess Bride. Right? And at least once a year, once or twice a year, I'll sit down and I'll watch all the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits, right? And my son said the other day that he wanted to sit down and just watch Lord of the Rings over the weekend. I had other things I had to do, so I told him we'd take a rain check and we'd watch it together soon. So I'm excited. Hello, gorgeous. How you doing? Yeah. I try not to say stuff like that to anyone online. Just the wife. Not that I think Astrid would take it the wrong way or anything, but, you know, it's like, it sucks because you want to compliment people as a guy, right? But also, don't be creepy and then, you know, being in a relationship, you don't want to, like, give someone a false impression, you know what I mean? This is getting worse. This is going backwards. No, go the other way. We watched through Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, and Marvel once a year. Right on. I don't know. Let's see here. I'm going to spend the money to get, like, the director's cut of all the Lord of the Rings. I've got them on, like, Vudu, and then I got a couple on DVD, and it's very spread out. And you'd think for a series I watch once a year I would own them, but I don't. And isn't there like 27 movies in the Marvel Universe right now? There you go. I don't know. I don't keep track. I watched the first Iron Man in theaters, and I saw the Avengers, and someone else explained to me what was going on eventually. There we go. Yay, they're in the right place. All right. So, like I said, I'd never been in a comic book until I was an adult. I'd never been in a comic book store until I was an adult. Okay. We added these 3 rings here, which I feel pretty good about. Lots of stuff to still get done, but slowly but surely. We're working on the 3rd layer. You have the new Rings of Power season coming soon. I tried to watch the first portion of the Rings of Power. I got about 20 minutes in and I turned it off. I haven't gone back to it. I tried watching the Eye of the World. No, the Robert Jordan books. Eye of the World. No, that's George R. R. Martin. I have the books right over here. I have all 14 books. 13, whatever it is. What is the freaking... Okay. With the Aes Sedai and the One Power and Rand and Egwene and... Wheel of Time. Thank you so much. I've only read every book like a dozen times. Except for the last 3 that Sanderson worked on. What was I saying? Okay, so that's that. They made a TV show out of that, and I started watching it, and I got through the first episode, and I turned it off. I Oh, excuse me. Ooh. Did I watch the first season? I think I watched the first season. Right? And I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm not overly excited about it. And then I was like bored or sick or something one day because I don't usually sit down and watch TV. And I was like, I don't know what to watch. I'm not going to sit here for forever. And so I started watching the first season again, and I rolled into the second season. And by the end of the second season of Wheel of Time, I was like, all right, I can, forgive whatever liberties they've taken with the initial literature, and we can see where this goes. So I haven't returned back to Rings of Power because of that, but a bunch of people who were naysaying it have turned around, and so I might go back and take a look at that one. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe. But for anyone watching, my name's Sean. I run mailworks.com. I design and sell chainmail themed apparel and accessories over at my website, mailworks.com. It's my username.com. And since you've been hanging out with me and we've hit the end of the stream, if you use discount code LIVESTREAM, you will get 20% off anything you order at mailworks.com. And that's my gift to anyone who sits here and hangs out with me. I wish I could make everyone something out of chainmail, but I can't. So I have my store to do the next best thing. I'm usually here 8:30 to 10 most nights of the week, but it is summertime and, I'm not always here. But I try to make it most nights. We do get a lot of cool stuff done, like working on enormous cubes that we decided to make for some silly reason. And, yeah. If you like what you see and you want to help the channel, you can like, follow, share. And if you go to the link tree on my TikTok, all my social medias are listed there or at the bottom of my website. But I'm on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you go and like any of those pages, I would greatly appreciate it because I would like to grow everything as best I can. So thank you for hanging out. I am going to get out of here. Got a few more things before I go to bed. Got to go do a few more things before I go to bed. I know words. Words are good. And other than that, I'm going to continue working on this enormous cube here. And hopefully we'll actually probably be finished sooner rather than later. So it's coming along. All right, so come back tomorrow night or the next and come check out our progress on this piece. And I will see all of you later. You too, have a wonderful evening. Have a good night, guys.